Okay, so Jacob Frey is here. There he is. We're gonna get you a little bit closer.
What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? What's his name?
That's the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey. He did just leave his house. We're gonna get you a little bit closer.
We got a couple questions to ask you, Dad.
This is unbelievable. Stay tuned to Neighborhood Reporter.
As mayor, hold up.
Hey, keep quiet! Everyone quiet! Keep quiet!
As the mayor of Minneapolis, who is responsible for the death of George Floyd, by investing in the Minneapolis Police Department, by not listening to community members for the last 2 years. Are you going to vow right now, this is the only question we have for you, to abolish the Minneapolis Police Department?
I'm the mayor of this city. And I do have to take responsibility here. I've been coming to grips with my own brokenness in this situation, my own failures, my own shortcomings, and I know there needs to be deep-seated structural reform in terms of how the department operates. A systemically racist system needs to be revamped. The police union needs to be put in its place. We need to make sure that everything from the union contract to the way that the arbitration functions to the way that our officers and the culture in the department behaves, it all needs to change.
Jacob Frey, we have a yes or no question for you. Hey! Hey! Fist up! Fist up, y'all! Fist up! Jacob Frey, we have a yes or no question for you. Yes or no, will you commit to defunding Minneapolis Police Department? What did I say? We don't want no more police. It's that clear. We don't want people with guns toting around in our community, shooting us down. You have an answer? It is a yes or a no. It is a yes or a no. Will you defund the Minneapolis Police Department? All right, be quiet, y'all. Be quiet, because it's important that we actually hear this. It's important that we hear this, because if y'all don't know, he's up for re-election next year. If y'all don't know, he's up for re-election next year. And if he says no, guess what the fuck we gonna do next year?
No, I don't support abolishing the department.
What'd you say?
I do not support the full abolition of the department.
All right. Get the fuck out of here. Go. Get out of here.
Go home, Jacob, go home! 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 Go home, Jacob, go home!
Somali guy, right? Talking to my mayor of the city. Okay, I tell you, we come in peace. You know what? You know Islam. You know what?
I mean only peace.
Okay, you know what Islam is? The message from Islam is about peace, right? But you can't fight fire with fire, right? But what's going on right now?
I agree.
It's about peace, right? It's about. I haven't slept good in the last 6 days. It's about peace, right? But then when when somebody comes, when somebody does somebody to you black man in peace, right? How is everybody gonna react?
You're right.
Right?
You're right. There's nothing that you just said that I would refute.
Then why didn't you agree to this ban?
No, hold on. Let him speak. Let him speak.
I agree entirely with mass structural reform.
Okay.
I do.
No,
I understand that a
no.
racist system needs to be changed.
Okay.
I understand that the culture within the department and the way that business has been done has to be radically reshaped, and
Correct.
we need to rethink everything now before we move forward.
You correct, Jacob.
I'm with you. As far as the full abolition of a department, of and full on getting rid of police officers in our city, I'll tell the truth, and I don't agree with that part.
Okay.
I don't agree with that.
When somebody comes
I
to
hear
you
you.
in peace and does something violent to you, that's what's been happening.
You're right.
Can't do that.
You're right. It was murder.
It was
murder.
complete murder.
It was murder.
Straight up murder.
It was.
Anyways,
You're not gonna abolish. What are you gonna do?
no. Listen, we're talking about
I'm happy
peace.
to get into that. I'm just trying to listen.
Okay. It's about peace. When somebody messes with your own peace, your son's peace,
Yeah.
your grandson, your own grandson. Let's say you have a grandson, right? And somebody fucks with your grandson's peace. You understand that?
Yeah.
That's all I'm talking about. It's reckless.
Love.
Love
You have your own as well? I need to go with that.
you too. Be good, Jacob.
What structural change can you commit to?
I'm gonna defend you.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
Yeah. So
Structural reform, police reform.
there's a number. First
Police
off, there's-
reform all the way, okay?
Hold on.
All right, guys.
First off, there are policy initiatives at the city level that need to be changed. But more importantly, there are mayors and chief progressive in vision that have been thwarted in their attempts, in some cases for generations. And so much of what stands in the way is the way the police union contract and then the subsequent arbitration agreements function. We need to be able to discipline. We need to be able to terminate. So much about shifting of culture is also about shifting of people. We need to make sure that the officers we have in our department are subscribing to the vision that our Chief Arredondo, the man that sued the Minneapolis Police Department for racial discrimination, we need to make sure that his values are upheld. That of compassion, that of procedural justice, those need to be upheld. To the extent officers are not upholding those ideals, they need to be gone. I stand by that. I will not budge from that mission. I'll stake my entire career on making that move.
Are you gonna get rid of them?
Like
How
I
do you
s-
weed them out?
It starts with having the ability to have the disciplinary actions and terminations stick. That needs to happen. And that's everything. I mean, this is built into the very structure of the system, the architecture of how it was set up. It needs to be redesigned. That's what needs to happen now. So looking back, in 10 and 15 and 20 years from now, in Minneapolis, we could be the place where status quo stays, or this could be the time when we rise up, when we unite, and we make sure that the full system is changed so that black and brown people do not continue to get murdered like George Floyd was.
Do you think we should keep marching until whenever?
I am 100% in favor of the peaceful protest that I'm seeing right here, right now. This has been nothing but peaceful, and, it's okay to verbally beat me up. I'll take every bit of it. I'm the mayor. And to that extent, you know, I need to take responsibility. And so I'm standing here, I'm out here right now because I'm not backing down from the reforms that need to be made. I'm not backing down, notwithstanding people who are rightfully angry. I hear that, I'll take it. I need to come to grips, and I need to come to grips with my own brokenness in all of this,
They're
too.
more than angry.
You're right.
It's not about being angry or aggressive.
You're right. You're right. You're right. They are.
They're sad. They're hurt.
They're sad and they're hurt, and they deserve to be sad and hurt. You're right. Sir.
What's one structural change you can commit to right now? Is there any?
The push to shift the entire police union, the contract itself, as well as how the state laws function. There's additionally pieces at the city that we've already done to create a duty to report in the instances of unauthorized force, to create a duty to step in and prevent that force from happening. That's already been done. But we need to go a lot further. I recognize that. I know every single person here recognizes that as well.
Do you see any middle ground? They want a community-oriented police. Is there any middle ground that you can commit to?
I'm sure there is.
Elevating community leaders to like a higher stature?
I'm certain there is, because every bit of leadership right now, I believe, needs to come. The leadership that we need to uplift, that we need to highlight, is coming from our black community right now. It has been for years. That's the direction we need to go.
Why are you against abolishing the police?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Why are you against abolishing the police?
No, I'm not for a full. I'm not for.
Why are you against abolishing the police?
There's service that many people in our city still need, and I understand that there have been. I mean, look, we had a murder. I recognize that. I understand that there are so many structural deficiencies that are built in that need to be changed. Am I for abolishing the entire department? Am I for abolishing the police department? No, I'm not, and I'm going to be honest about that, just like I'm honest about the structural reforms that need to happen. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
What's your thoughts on that?
This is part of what democracy looks like. And although there are many people that are upset, this is part of my job to hear it and to lean into it. So, you know, I am absolutely for a massive am I for abolishing the entire police department? No, I'm not, and I'll be honest about that.
What were you trying to do today? What was your goal? To get up and speak?
No, my goal was just to be with community. They asked me to come up there, and so I did. You know, these are the tough situations where you need to lean into, as difficult as they may be. I'm here doing exactly that.
The hostility, you can feel it, can't you?
I can. I understand the anger. I understand the sadness. You know, I'm mayor, and I've got to be a responsible party here.
Your message right now. What's your message?
My message right now. You hear the anger, you hear the sadness. Let's channel this anger and sadness into deep-seated structural reform that we know has been a long time coming. You know, we need to come to a reckoning right now with the words of the past and the actions that need to take place right now in the present. You're hearing anger right now. I'm hearing it too.
Do you feel like, Mayor Frey, you have control of this city?
You know, when you have deep-seated frustration over not just the course of 8 minutes, but 400 years, you will have people that are upset. You know, I'm sorry, I'm listening to a few different things right now. When you look at, it's not just 8 minutes, it's over the last 400 years, where you've had structural racism literally built into our system. And we need to be part of it in the arena right now, changing it. Thank you.
Do you feel like you're in a situation where you can't please anybody?
What's that?
I feel like you're in a situation where you can't please anybody.
That's true, and so I just gotta tell the truth. What? I gotta tell you. Thank you.
Mayor Frey. Hi.
Oh, sorry about that. I'll get there.
I got it.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah, can I just ask, because I couldn't hear from where we were standing. When she asked you that question, what did you say?
I don't know what question you're referring to.
So question, sorry, will you commit to defunding the police?
If you're asking whether I'm for massive structural reform to revise a structurally racist system, The answer is yes. If you're asking whether I will do everything possible to push back on the inherent inequities that are literally built into the architecture, the answer is yes. If you're asking whether I'm willing to do everything I possibly can throughout the rest of my term to make sure that the police union, the police contract, the arbitration system, and some of these policies that have resulted in problems specifically for black and brown people, and murder, by the way, over a series of generations, I'm all for that. I'm not for abolishing the entire police department, and I'll be honest about that too.
Do you feel it's fair how the crowd reacted?
Anger and frustration expressing your First Amendment rights is always fair. And although I'm taking the heat, at times it's tough, I'm here nonetheless. Thank you.
Mayor, the whole world is now paying attention to